What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video. Now today we're talking about Blue Exorcist. It's coming back. It's getting a new anime. This is one of my favorite animes. Just kind of recommend people to me. You know, like I specifically remember recommending this anime to a lot of different people because it simply has pretty much everything you need in an anime. You know, the animation is pretty decent. We got a cool main character, cool powers, cool premise, you know, dealing with the demons and devils and stuff like that. And you know, I honestly think it's good amount of episodes. It's pretty short, but also long enough that if they get interested, they won't stop watching. Like I said, one of my favorite anime to actually recommend to people. I feel like it kind of failed though. You know, a lot of those animes that I watched back then in that time area, you know, in that time period, I feel like Blue Exorcist kind of fell, you know, behind the couch, so to speak. I don't really hear many people talking about it. You know, now that they've basically said they're coming out with an anime again, you know, I heard a lot of people kind of chatter coming up. I think I read a little bit of the manga back then. You know, it wasn't nothing crazy. I wasn't even reading manga a lot back then, so this might be something to kind of go back for, something to kind of go back and really get into and see if I can enjoy it this time. I enjoyed it a lot when I read it and I watched it. I thought it was a really good series. They definitely pulled the Fullmetal Alchemist route though. If you don't know what that means, basically they made a version of the anime. The anime basically followed up to where the manga was for until like maybe halfway through basically, and after that they just kind of made their own story, their own anime only story. This is the same that happened with Fullmetal Alchemist, the original one. There was actually two Fullmetal Alchemist series. The one you may know if you haven't seen both, it's Brotherhood, but there is actually a first original one, and that one's pretty good too. A little bit more slower paced, but it's actually a really good anime too. But it doesn't really follow the manga that way, you know. It's kind of just diverted and did its own thing, had its own movie and everything. It was just out the way. But most people kind of retcon that by just, you know, not even realizing that it even exists. And it's the same way with Blue Exorcist. They basically came back with an anime, you know, some years later and corrected the mistake that they made. You know, they made it so that they actually followed the main storyline. Speaking of the main storyline, let's get into some Wikipedia stats now. Let's talk about the synopsis of the anime and just talk about it in general. Now, basically, Blue Exorcist is a Japanese dark fantasy manga series written and illustrated by Kazue Kato. Pretty sure I didn't pronounce that right, but the story revolves around Rin, a teenager who discovers he and his twin brother Yukio are the sons of Satan, born from a human woman. He is the inheritor of his father's powers. When his father kills their guardian, Rin enrolls at True Cross Academy to become an exorcist under Yukio's tutelage in order to defeat his father. Now, the show had like 2 different anime series and like 30 plus episodes, plus the OVA and a movie, as I said before. Like I said, I won't really spoil the whole story here, but to kind of expand on my Wikipedia stats right there, basically you have these 2 brothers. One of them works at an academy, he's like a teacher or whatever, he's really good, and the other brother is like a young hothead, and the younger brother and the older brother are both sons of basically like the best bad guy in the world, you know, the strongest bad guy in the world technically, you know. And you know, their adopted father, who was actually a father, you know, some things happen with that, and if you watch the first episode, you'll see it. I don't want to spoil it. It's a really good first episode, really good first opening episode. But it has a lot of cool fights, man. I don't want to spoil too much, and trying to figure out what kind of footage I'm gonna have in the background is gonna really be kind of difficult, considering that you might be slight spoilers in the footage, but hopefully we can go past that. Now, I specifically feel like the anime coming back is the best thing ever. When it came back the second time, like when it came back to refix the issues that the first anime series made, it was really good. I think it was really good, and you know, it took some years, but we now get a new anime series again. I think the story has a lot more stuff to tell. We see a lot of the different hints of new characters unlocking new abilities and stuff. We won't spoil that. But yeah, I generally think like the fights are cool. I think the main character, he's a really cool character. I think it's a pretty good cast of character. I think it's a decent anime. Maybe one that you should definitely watch or add to your watch list, because if I'm being honest, it's pretty fire, no pun intended. and also like a parallel with the anime that you might have seen, like Naruto, specifically the fact that he doesn't really have a demon fox inside of him. He basically is the demon fox, and you know, when he's around an academy of exorcist people where their main job is to kill people like him, you know, he has to kind of keep his abilities hidden, or at least to a certain point where they really aren't shown to their true extent, because you know, there's different moments where, you know, characters may see him as his true self and raging and stuff, and it can cause different psychological trust issues and stuff between the group. And it's really good in showing that. It's really deep in those types of moments. I really love those types of moments where you can really see what a character would react to something crazy happening in their world. Would I recommend this anime? I definitely would. I think it is a good anime. Even now, I think it holds up really, really well. For me, I'm probably gonna jump back into the manga, man, to really see what's going on there. I'm really curious to see if the anime comes back and kind of give me that nostalgia feeling, because it is pretty old. You know, it came out a long time ago, a couple of years ago actually, not that long ago, but I mean, it originally started in 2011, so yeah, like 10 something years ago, not counting the, you know, comeback series or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think it still holds up really well. One show I would definitely not necessarily recommend, but would definitely say is similar to this is The Gray Man for me. I think The Gray Man is sort of similar in the terms of like the demons and the monsters and stuff, and you know, some spoiler alerts there, but a lot of similarities between the main characters in a way. And it's something about older anime, man, you know what I'm saying, like older anime that hold up are the best kind, because they're always fun to watch. They're always great to kind of really get into. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. 剣がくれるぞスタープラチナざわやれやれだぜ